Hello, good afternoon. I've got my Mila smoothie with fruit here and my Pure Perk Pure Cafe. I am one happy girl. So hey, good afternoon. As you're coming on, I'm just going to give Facebook a couple of minutes just to tell people that I am on. I posted on my personal page that I'm live because just to let you know, for this page, make sure that you have liked it or that you clicked following and that you clicked notifications to see, I think it's default or first or whatever the case may be, and that you see all notifications, not just the highlights, because I don't just post highlights. Yeah, at least I don't. No, I just post mostly encouraging words. So we are talking about decisions today. The title is Decisions, Decisions, Decisions. Have you ever seen a lion in a cage or a lioness? What do they do when they start they start pacing back and forth in their cage? Have you ever watched an animal in a cage? Have you ever watched them carefully, like closely? Do you see what they do? They walk back and forth, and then they keep looking, and then it's like they're stuck, and they look like they are just stuck, and they can't go anywhere. Hey, Dennis, how's it going? Right? So that's a lion in a cage. And so, has there ever been a time in your life where you have needed to make a decision and step up, right? Has there ever been a time where you have gone, say, even to a restaurant, right? What do you get? When you go to the restaurant, what do they give you? A menu. And then you look at the menu, and then you're supposed to make a decision on what you want, right? What do you go by? Well, mainly price, or mainly if you want your steak or filet mignon, whatever the case may be, you have to make a decision, right? Because in about maybe 10, 15 minutes or so, they're going to come back and take your order. Well, it's kind of like, so you have to make a decision with that, right? Have you ever been in an area in your life where it's been difficult to make a decision, and it has? How has that made you How has that made you feel? Like a wreck? Like anxious? You ready for a story? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you a story. So in my own life, there have been times where I have had to make decisions. I mean, I have to make decisions every day. I have to decide what I'm going to put on before I go to work. Then I have to decide how I'm going to fix my hair. Then I have to decide how I'm going to fix my makeup, because I have to wear a stupid mask for 8 freaking hours, okay? Then I have to decide, what shoes I'm going to put on. Then I have to decide if I'm going to work out and all that stuff. Making decisions. It can be very tough to make a decision. But I know that when I don't make a decision, I feel like a lioness stuck in the cage. There was a time in 2011 I had to make a decision. Okay, a really big decision. And I remember sitting in a Starbucks parking lot. I had my card out, I had my phone, and I had to make a really big decision for my life, because I knew that making this decision was going to help me move forward in my life. But I was freaking out in my car, and I'll never forget it. And I remember I had my phone in one hand, then I had my card in the other. And I said, man, if I don't make this decision to invest in my life, I am going to be stuck. Remember my story? Okay. So this was part of where my story started, actually. But I had to make a decision, and I was freaking out, and I felt like a lioness stuck in a cage. And I was like, oh man, I got to do this, because if I don't, I know I'm going to be stuck in the same place, and I don't want to be stuck in the same place, because I don't like my life right now. I don't like where I'm at. And I know that if I do invest, I know that it's going to bring lots of great things coming my way, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And I remember calling a friend and asking their opinion so that I could make my decision. Now, sometimes calling friends is okay. However, when you have to make a big decision and you're forced with what's it going to be, let's go. Either you do it or you're just going to be stuck in the same place. You got to make that decision, or you're going to be like a lion or a lioness stuck in a cage. So I made that decision, and I'm really grateful that I did, because that decision, when I opened up my phone, because I don't know what kind of phone I had at the time, but I opened up my phone, and I remember calling, hello? All right, hey, so-and-so, this is Tiffany, how's it going? So I am ready to make that investment. Here's my information, let's go. Now remember, it took about 5 to 10 minutes, and after that, I felt like a surge of adrenaline, and she helped me. I got my order, I invested, and it was the best investment at that time. Little did I know, though, that investment would bring me to this place where I'm at today. So making a decision, I don't know where you're at or where you find yourself in life. Hi, Haley, how's it going? Hey, Richard. I don't know where you find yourself at today, but making a decision, it could be making a decision for your health, making a decision for your finances, making a decision to step up and be the best person that you've been created to be. Stepping up and making a decision that's non-negotiable, that says, I'm going to do this come hell or high water. I'm going to do this, and I am going to get it done. I am going to be the best person that I can be. I'm going to do the best here, and I am going to, thank you, Richard. Yes, it's all about the hair. I don't have access to a barber right now, so my hair is growing. That's all I can straighten, because the rest ain't gonna look good. Thank you, though. So a decision. It might even be small decisions in your life, whatever you do every day to, we ought to make decisions, right? So I saw this quote by Sandy Krakowski, and it said, I'm going to paraphrase, that when you basically make a decision and decide to step up and do what God has called and created you to do, you will no longer be grumpy, angry, pissed off. You will no longer be mad at people. You will no longer be moody. Why? Because there is something deep inside each and every one of us, something that is calling out, telling us, get out of the freaking cage already. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? Get out of the freaking cage. It's time to step up, do what I have been called to do, and I'm going to decide, come heck or high water, I'm going to go for it. I don't care what anybody else has to say. I don't care if I have called 5 people and everyone has said, I'm crazy. You, girl, you crazy. Or boy, you don't know what you're doing. Or you blah-blah-blah-blah-blah. Who the flip cares? What decision? You know what? Let me ask you this. Actually, let me say this. You are one decision. Thank you, Richard. So Holy Spirit, you are one decision away from either stepping towards your destiny and the dreams and the things that God has placed inside of you. You are one decision away. And you are also one decision away from denying yourself, disqualifying yourself, and not stepping up and not doing the things that God has called you to do. Did you know that the moment that you make that decision, hey Michelle, how's it going? The moment that you make that decision, do you realize what is going to happen? Things are going to change. You will start to see yourself become a different and better version. You will see that where you used to be 6 months ago is no longer where you're at today. You will see that with the decisions that you made based on whatever a year ago is not how you make decisions today. You will see how along the lines how every day there has been a subtle like change. It's like how do I explain it? All I know is sitting in a Starbucks parking lot, January 28th, 2011, I made one of the most scariest decisions of my life, and that was to invest in myself to give my household and my life a better future. Because I knew that I couldn't spend one more day angry, pissed off, disgusted with myself, the way I felt, the way I looked, disgusted with my life, in debt, angry, dark places. Yeah, it was not pretty. I knew that it was not okay to go one more day not stepping up to the plate. And I made a decision. And that decision, let me tell you something, has opened up the cage. It unlocked the freaking cage, and the lioness has been set free ever since. Why? Because for the last 9 years, I haven't looked back. I haven't gone back because I remember what it was like to sit on the couch with no vision, okay? And yet I was like a lioness stuck in a cage, not able to get out because I didn't know how. Can't is also a decision. Can't. I can't because fill in whatever reasons, whatever you have. Fine. I can't is also a decision. I won't is also a decision. I'm not going to is also a decision. No, yes, it's a complete sentence. Hey, Tracy, but it's also a decision. What we choose to eat is a decision. What we choose to put in our minds, listen to, watch, read, speak, put in our bodies, that's a decision. Like I said, you are one decision away from becoming the best version of yourself and getting out of the cage, or you're one decision from staying in the cage. I don't know about y'all. Do you like being in a cage? It ain't fun. Have you seen an animal in a cage? Google or YouTube animals in cages and a lioness in a cage. You tell me how that makes you feel when you watch that. Angry, pissed off, mad, good. Because you know what? I hope it does. You know why? Because there is something way deep down in each and every one of us where God is saying, hey, will you step up? Will you rise up? Will you do what I've called you to do already? What the heck are you waiting for? And whose permission do you need? Last I checked, we all didn't need permission to go to the store and buy groceries, right? We all don't need permission to go buy gum. I had this conversation with a person that I love just a couple weeks ago. I said, listen, you don't need permission to go to the bathroom, do you? You don't need permission to eat or make a snack, do you? You don't even need permission to go to the store and buy over-the-counter vitamins that aren't really good for you, right? You don't need permission to go to your doctor's appointments. You don't need permission to go work out. You don't need permission to that. So what are we needing permission for to step up and be who God has called us to be already? That's right. So that's the question I have for you today. And I'm going to tell you something. Okay, I'm just really excited. Are you guys ready to hear? Okay, so I know I could go on and on, but I'm going to spare us all from the lengthiness that I can have. But I just want to ask you, what decisions do you need to make today, not tomorrow, not Thursday, not Friday, not I'll just wait till Monday. No! What decisions today? What time is it? It is 12:42 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the United States, okay? Whatever time zone you're in, it is more than likely the same day, right, or evening. So June 16th, 2020 at 12:42 p.m., probably now 12:43, okay? What decision will you be making to step into who God has called you to be and to do what He has called you to do? And my next question to you is, what is holding you back? And we're going to add another one. What are you waiting for? Why are you waiting? That's two questions in one, okay? Ask yourself that question. Well, Tiffany, I just don't know what I've been called to do. I'm going to call your bluff. You know why? Because the very thing you've been called to do is the very thing that comes easier to you, like breathing. You don't have to follow your passion. That's a bunch of blah, 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 blah. You don't need to do that. You just need to do, like for me, okay, I'm going to give you an example. For me, it's non-negotiable to not be able to encourage somebody, because encouragement comes easy for me like breathing. That's just the gift God has given me. I don't say that to brag or boast. I use that as an example because a lot of people don't know, well, what am I supposed to do with my life? Well, for one, I hope you've asked Him, because He will tell you exactly what you're supposed to be doing with your life. If you get quiet enough and you ask Him, you write it down what He tells you. And I guarantee you, because I've done this, I have prayed and I said, hey God, I didn't say, hey God, I was like, God, what have you called me to do? The first thought was, Tiffany, I have called you to, and then He told me. And I wrote it down. And literally, it is the same thing. It is the same thing. And I'll still ask, because I'm a kid, okay? I'm his kid. So kids like to ask, right, their parents over and over and over again for stuff. So I like to ask. Because if we don't ask, we're not going to receive, right? And you don't need a title. You don't need a gold star on Hollywood. You don't need anything else. You just need to know what it is God has called you to do. Maybe it's to be the best parent. Maybe it's to be the best encourager. Maybe it's to be the best speaker in the world. Whatever the case may be. I don't know. Whatever your, calling, dreams are. Maybe it's the best, as I see, one of the best photographers on here. Maybe it's a best angel investor. And I see a beautiful mom who's watching as well. Another beautiful mom. And so there's another beautiful friend who helps young folks who are getting married. So, so it's, and then I have a awesome cousin who's an amazing, he works in the hotel business where he's at. He's an amazing, executive, I don't know what he does, but he does a lot of things for the hotel industry to help them grow. So, and that might be what he's been called to do, because he's great with people. He's great with people. So whatever it is you have been called to do, get up and do it already. What are you waiting for? I have a lot of conversations with people, and the underlying theme that I hear is that people are anxious because they haven't gotten started and they haven't unleashed themselves out of the cage. Because they're like, man, and it's there's almost like a sadness or an unhappiness because people haven't started. The worst thing, you ready for the worst thing that anyone can do? Is to sit and watch people. Hey Lauren, how are you? Is to sit and watch people on social media post their highlights and compare yourself to them. Then you start thinking that you suck, that your life sucks, and that, well, I'm not as great as them. I don't do what they do. Well, let me tell you a little secret. You weren't called to do what they were called to do. Maybe it might be the same field, but you're not going to do it the same way. I used to be stuck in a comparison prison. Let me tell you something. A lot of people will post the highlights, but they don't post the behind the scenes. I appreciate the authentic behind the scenes postings, because guess what? It means that, no one has their stuff together, which is great. So, and it's okay to not have your stuff together, or have it all together. So, I really pray that does this bless you? Did this bless anyone today? I pray it encourages you, and I pray a fire has been lit. I'm telling you, the moment that you make the decision to set out and do the thing that God has called you to do, I'm telling you, it will be the most freeing thing that you have ever done. It will be freeing, and it'll be non-negotiable, and it should be non-negotiable. It should be so non-negotiable that when people try to come in and talk you out of it, that you're not going to listen to what they have to say. Hey, Shauna, how are you? And it should be so non-negotiable that when people try to have you negate your time so that they can have your time, it's going to be non-negotiable, because you're going to say, sorry, I ain't got time for that. I'm on a mission. In fact, I'm going to share this. I had a dream once, and I was driving an old car, similar to the white car that I have in my driveway, but it wasn't, I think it was a Nissan or a Honda, goldish color, anyway, white, whatever. So driving it, and some people that I knew were all sitting there, and I was driving it. I was in my old job uniform sweatshirt, okay? And I remember getting out of the car. Somebody said something to me, and I looked at them, and I said, I'm on the clock. That's all I said. And then I guess I woke up. So, I believe that to this day, I believe it just means that I'm focused, meaning I ain't got time for drama. I can't stand gossip. I really can't. I don't have time for, all the stuff that I used to, trade my dreams for. I just don't have time for that. And I don't apologize, and you shouldn't apologize either. So if you don't have time for the things that you used to have time for, because it's not helping you get to your destiny, like all the distractions, cut them off and be okay with that. It's okay. I'm not saying to leave your friends. I'm not saying to do all that. Just saying you're gonna see. I pray that you find today the distractions, that those are revealed to you, so that way you can move forward, so that way you can stay focused, because nobody has the right to tell you that you can't live out your dream. Period. The end. So with that being said, I do love you. I pray that did this bless y'all today? I pray that it encourages you. I pray, like I said, the fire has been lit. I pray that you just continue to move forward. And thank you so much for watching. Please tag some people, share this, and yeah. So what decision do you need to write down today? Maybe you've been afraid. I tell you, fear is a freaking liar. I'm going to tell you that right now. Fear is a freaking liar. So, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I will come at you soon with a new video. I promise. Bye-bye.